The market in NBA 2K23 My Team right now is a little bit interesting, to say the least. Like, nothing crazy. I mean, it did not, I'll preface this by saying it did not crash in the way the optimists, let's just say, in the 2K community stated that it would. Yeah, that's just, it has to be said before. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit pessimistic at the current moment, okay? Like, I'm trying to center my chi right now as much as humanly possible. But my downstairs neighbor at my house, well, I guess at my apartment, I should say, decided that they were going to leave town and turn their heat completely off. And now there is a polar vortex. Now, in addition to this, their lock didn't click when they closed the door. So the wind blew the door open. So the door's just been open for like, I don't know, man, 12 to 24 hours. So super sick. It'll give you kind of an idea of where my head's at the current moment. And I don't have water, by the way, due to this fact. So really not stoked at the current moment. But let's take a look at what's going on in NBA 2K23 My Team and distract myself from the miserable existence of which I am currently residing. So, we got some new Takeover player. Woo! We got DeMarcus Cousins. Unless I get him randomly, like, I'm not going to get this card. That being said, DeMarcus Cousins looks really good, so I would like to get DeMarcus Cousins. Now, will I actually get him? No, but he has his own release, which I haven't used yet. I'm interested. He has Michael Jordan dribble style as a big man with, like, Luka's behind the back and, like, Curry's crossover with only a 79 ball handle. But if you can ratchet that up a little bit through, you know, shoe, coach, floor general, you can be looking at a very, very efficient center. Now, the defensive badges are fine. You just can't add anything like challenger or clamps, which is kind of an issue, or menace. But he does have like box out beast, brick wall, on Hoff, and then like anchor, interceptor, pogo, post move lockdown. He's a good center for sure. Also comes standard with like clamp breaker and quick first step on gold, in addition to like a few different shooting badges. Any key. He has corner specialist. He just can't get limitless. That's like the one big drawback for Decuz. But I wouldn't say it's worth grinding all of this for him, because if you're the type of person that is willing to grind for all of this, you probably already have Anthony Davis and like a host of about the same level or better centers. So I don't really think it matters, but you know, it is what it is. We also have a little limited time event, but let's talk packs. These packs, the odds are rough. I've seen people spend $1 million VC and pull 1 diamond. That's wild. That should not be a thing, but you know, alas, here we are. Tis a thing, unfortunately. So, tis the season, I suppose. Tis the season for losing a bunch of money on packs. Let's look at the cards, though. We got Taco Fall first off. I mean, he's super cheap. Like, it's Taco Fall. By the way, interesting turn of events with Taco Fall is he looks so much smaller this year than he has in the past. That's my opinion. I was playing with this card earlier doing his challenge, and he looks kind of tiny, to be honest, like in comparison to what you're like expecting from Taco Fall. He looks small. He's still obviously Taco Fall, so he's 7'6", but he just doesn't look 7'6". Like if you put him next to, for instance, where is the homie at? George Mirasan. He's technically only 1 inch shorter, but George Mirasan looks like a giant compared to him. It's weird. Taco's still fun. I mean, he's a paint beast, so if that's what you're looking for, pick him up. Markelle Fultz. You can get him for 2,000 MT, like at the absolute most expensive, like 2,500. Really good. 6'4". He's got that Markelle Fultz release, man. I mean, I know it sounds silly to say that because every player basically just has their own release these days, but you know, the Markelle Fultz release, same release as Ron Artest. So good. So good. He is really fun to use, I will say. Like, the 83-point shot is offset completely by how good the release is. 85 driving dunk, like the ball handle. He's got Michael Jordan dribble style with Dames behind the back. This is for sure the best point guard that you can buy for under 3,000 MT. I would be willing to say this is the best point guard you can buy for under 10. You could even make the case, I don't think he's better than Stephon Marbury, but it's closer than you would think. Markelle Fultz is a demon, man. Hoff quick first step, like he's got bully on gold for no reason, like limitless takeoff, posterizer, catch and shoot, volume shooter. He's got gold clamp breaker, like clamps and glove and interceptor on gold, menace on silver. Like he's lacking shooting badges for sure. For a point guard, you're not really able to put too many on him, which would be really effective either. Like for shooting badges, I recommend putting on, this is how desolate it is out here. Like you can't get limitless, agent, amped, any of that stuff. So really you'd only want to put like blinders, guard up, green machine, and maybe midi magician and clutch shooter on them. Other than that, like those are the 5 shooting badges I would recommend. But for sure, Markelle Fultz is cracked. You should pick him up regardless of what you need. Then we got Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is cool. Like I actually like Cam Reddish's jump shot this year better than I did last year, and I think I'm in the minority on that one. But 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, probably one of the better budget wings in the game too. Based on the budget cards alone in this set being as good as they are, I am pretty sure the power scaling is about to be pretty drastically altered over the course of the next week or so. He's cracked though. Like he is the best amethyst shooting guard or small forward, I would say. I don't think that's incorrect to say. I mean, he has every badge that you would want him to have except for limitless, which he doesn't need if he's playing the small forward anyway. Cam Reddish is super good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, when everyone booted up today, this was the guy that everyone was excited for, rightfully so. I think there is a little bit of overhype going on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to a certain extent, but I understand because this is like the very first like bigger budget point guard that we've gotten, and he is so good. Like his release on quick is great, especially on current gen. I mean, it might be good on next gen too, I'm just not sure. 85 shot 3, 80 driving dunk, 90 ball handle. Like the perimeter defense on 90 is huge for him. That was the one thing I was a little concerned about, but he has good perimeter defensive stats, so that's what's up. He's fast. The 79 strength is whatever for a point guard at this point. Like stamina on 95, the 89 lateral quickness is kind of rough, but you can address that with a shoe, no problem, you know. Looking at his shot 3 tendency, that's something I'm interested in. I didn't look before. A 52 is okay. Like they'll contest it, but they're not going to contest it as like vigorously as they would if it was like obviously like an 80. Defensive tendencies aren't great, but the 85 shot contest is really solid. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is nice, man. Hoff bully, clutch shooter, midi magician, clamp breaker, quick first step. The gold badges are really good as well. The only issue with him is he can't get limitless range or Agent 3, and those are 2 badges that would really, really help him out. But it doesn't really matter because this is the first point guard that we got that can really compete with some of the better point guards in the game that are so expensive, like your Pennies, your Magics, your LaMelos, your Lonzos, and he is a fraction of the cost. So, dude, you should definitely pick up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, if you're running, like, LaMelo off the bench, unless you're, like, a huge LaMelo fan, I would say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is probably better. He has that Hoff clamp breaker, man. Jonathan Isaac. I mean, Jonathan Isaac is like the prototypical Jonathan Isaac card that we always get. He really looks like a Velociraptor in this picture, though. Like, this looks like a Chris Bosh pose, if I'm being honest. Like, he looks like he's about to throw the champagne bottle. He's good. I mean, his release is okay. He can't really dribble. He's got great defensive badges. But, I mean, other than that, it's not really too shocking that Jonathan Isaac is the way that he is. Defensive settings are great, but he only has a 31 block shot tendency, which I find really interesting. I mean, he's kind of known as someone who gets blocks, but whatever. Badges are cool, like chase down, off ball, and pogo on Hoff, which is fine. He also has workhorse and challenger, so good defensive badges. He's an elite defensive card. Plus, he's got gold corner specialist and guard up being as big as he is, so he's good. I'm personally more of a thorough Bailey man myself, but Jonathan Isaac can hold it down, and you can get him for under 20K, I've seen, but at the like absolute maximum, like 27K is definitely worth picking up for sure. Let's see. Next, we got Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's release is on slow, and it's not really that slow, to be honest, but it does kind of suck in the grand scheme of things. He does have 33 golds, though. You can get him for relatively cheap if you want to try him out. It's one of those releases that I would recommend trying out. Like, just pick up his current series card and try it out because it's the same release. Not the biggest fan of it, and he's missing a bunch of shooting badges, but anchor on Hoff, clamps, menace, post move, rebound chaser. Pretty good stable of Hoff badges right there, and his gold badges aren't much worse either. Guard up, I would think, is the one thing that he should get. But I mean, 60 ball handle with like a 70 speed or 79 speed with ball isn't awful, but it kind of doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't excite me that he has clamp breaker and quick first step with those badges. But the defensive badges are really nice, and he is going to be a great defensive anchor. It's just that release on slow is just despicable, truly. I hate that so much. Whatever, he's fun. If you need a big man, like him and Jonathan Isaac can really hold it down. All three of the diamonds in this set are fire. Honestly, the amethysts are fire too. All right, let's get to the non-exciting side of things. Luka Doncic, as predicted, they didn't mess with any of the SIGs, which is kind of hilarious at the end of the day. Luka base on normal, he's got 88 speed. Like I called him the basketball equivalent of Xanax the other day, and I really truly believe that, especially with this card. Defense is kind of meh. He's kind of slow. He doesn't really have, he has 84 stamina. I don't know, he's not really that good. And for 200k, you could do a lot better. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is better than Luka. It's not even close. Durant, I mean, these are all our one-off badge additions to the cards that we've already received. So it's like, I don't even feel like talking about them. There's really no difference between this Durant and the other one at the end of the day. So, I mean, if you want to pay the extra, sure, but nah. Kobe, same thing. He's still over 200k somehow, even though it's the same card. Doesn't make any sense, truly. I don't get it. Whatever. This LeBron is better, but it's like, I could care less, truly. But if you want a new updated LeBron card, you know, this is it. You could just grab the other one with badge edition. So I'll look at the other versions. And then MJ. There's a 29 Hoff MJ right here. I don't know. I'm interested. I actually haven't really seen too much about MJ. Personally, I haven't watched any gameplay videos or anything like that. I'm interested to see how people are going to feel about the jump shot, because it's on normal, and Pink Diamond MJ had an unusable jump shot, so we're going to see really quickly if that was the case or if people were just overreacting at the time. Because if people come out and they're like, oh, this card is like a top shooting guard, I'm going to be like, what happened to that unusable jump shot you guys were talking about? Everything else is perfect on MJ, though. Like, he is perfect in every capacity, realistically. The defensive tendencies could be better, though. 40 shot contest, 40 block is kind of meh. I mean, the block makes sense. He's a shooting guard, but the contest should be higher. Michael Jordan, he contested shots. He put his heart into the game. Whatever. Tis the season set's cool. I don't know, man. Not really. Not really too overly thrilled with the 4 repeat cards, but it's fine. Oh, I would say Luka's a new card, the 3 repeat cards. I don't know. Let's go take a look at the other ones. How much is Dreamer Kevin Durant going for? Oh, he's a buyout. Interesting. Yeah, he's a buyout. I mean, you're better off just picking this one up, honestly. Like, you truly are. What about Transcendent Kobe? Transcendent Kobe is still the same price as the other one, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Whatever. What about Nightmare Bronathan? Okay, let's see. Or just don't load. Oh, update, by the way. I had an error code occur on 3 straight puzzle pieces for the trophy case, and they all disappeared. And as soon as I booted the game up right before I started upstream here, I got them back. So it's cool. I just had like a bunch of choices to make. I mean, yeah, cool. We also have an event going on right now, which is interesting. So you're going to be getting a lot of Amethyst Kobe's if you start playing this, but you can get Zen Shaq through the vault. By the way, they're non-auctionable. It doesn't say that. But from what I hear, they are non-auctionable. I could be wrong. They might have changed it, but I highly doubt it. But Zen Shaq in the Triple Threat Vault. Clutch Time is Paul George, because I've been playing Clutch Time offline, and it is 100% Paul George. So it's Paul George and Diamond Durant are on Clutch Time. Clutch Time Online, I'm not entirely sure what those... What is Clutch Time Online? Hold on, let me see. Should say it. It doesn't really say. I can tell you that Dreamer Durant and Paul George are on Clutch Time Offline, so I would assume it's probably Paul George and like Darius Garland or Kristaps or something. Doesn't really matter, I guess. So cool. Then we got Triple Threat Online, which is Porzingis and Paul George. So maybe Clutch Time is Shaq? I have no idea, truly. No one cares about draft in any way, shape, or form. Unlimited is Paul George and Rudy. So I mean, it's a good event. I like the event personally. I think it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. What's Paul George at? I wonder if he's There are a lot of Paul Georges, though, so maybe it is auctionable. I'm just not sure if it is or not. That's something I will work to figure out, and I'll just jump in the comments down below and go ahead and report if it is or is not. I would assume that it is auctionable based on how many Paul Georges are up, but it could also be people panic selling them due to the event as well. But there's some like every couple minutes, so that would lead me to believe that it's probably an auctionable card. Not really sure though. Other than that, I mean, the market hasn't really crashed. Now, we're probably going to get a locker code or two this weekend, which maybe will cause it to trash like a little bit, but I would assume it's probably going to be some absolute BS. Like, we're going to get a locker code, and it's going to give me the choice of, like, Ron Artest, I think, is outdated enough for them to give us Ron. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I would say Ron. There are a lot of cards that have crashed, by the way. Ron, I'm going to say Ron. Draymond for sure. I would say Draymond in the locker code 100%. Harden would actually make a lot of sense too. Who's another card that no one cares about? Ray Allen. Yeah, Ray Allen. Yeah, no one cares about Ray Allen. It'd be hilarious if it was just Josh Smith too. That would be super funny. I can't speak on if that's accurate or not, but that would be super hilarious. Klay Thompson would be another one that no one cares about, so I would say Klay is definitely there. Possibility for the locker code as well. I can tell you who it won't be. Any of the 4 guys that got released today, or any of their past versions of the cards. Penny Hardaway, Magic, Ricky Davis, or any Opals. So just accept that. Oh, or DeMar DeRozan. It will 100% not be DeMar DeRozan. Also, because they do not need every single person in this world having Tim Thomas, and that will cause Mr. Reem Reem over here to go sky high through the ceiling. I'm not sure what other card could be a gatekeeper in this, but yeah, it's rough. As always, this has been your friend Cheap Loots, and I'll be back with more stuff tomorrow, man. Peace.